Hey there, Rebecca here with Usborne Books and More at Rebecca's Book Nook, and I just wanted to hop on to share a few of our current favorites for different age levels and just to give you a little idea on the variety that Usborne Books and More offers. I am so thankful that you are here tonight to party with us, and I look forward to sharing all of these books with you. These are some of the favorites in our house, and then you will see later after this post too just some of our new titles, new books that have been added to collections, some new series that we have, and all kinds of other fun stuff. But I just wanted to hop on here to introduce myself and to share a little bit of our favorites, because I always think it's fun to hear what other people's favorites are. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I am starting with our number one bestseller with Usborne Books and More, which is All Better. And what makes this book so fun, it comes with reusable Band-Aid stickers. So the way we read it in my house is I say, "Oh no, dog wasn't looking where he's going. Ouch." I will clean the ouchie. My son kisses it, puts the Band-Aid on it, and then we say All Better together. And as you go through this book here, you can see that there are Band-Aids for each page that just make it a fun, interactive book. It's got those nice thick board pages. So it is great all the way from like 18 months. My son is 5, and this is still a go-to at bedtime. So this is All Better. And then I'm going to go into one of our new titles, and if you are familiar with Usborne Books and More, you might know about one of our very popular storybooks called Nibbles. The original Nibbles is called The Book Monster. Then there's Nibbles' Dinosaur Guide, Nibbles' Numbers, and then the newest one to the collection is Nibbles on the Monster Hunt. But Nibbles is a little guy, you guessed it, he likes to nibble things. And what he does is he is always getting himself into trouble, but he just barely manages to escape here. So you can see all of a sudden this book is getting a little noisy, and if we zoom in here, you can see that Nibbles escapes out of his little cage here. And you can see that his footprints are all over the page here, so the little kids love to chase him. In this particular book, he ends up in a fact book. So the book of facts here, and he goes through, and you can see the little holes that he nibbles, and he ends up in the first one here, and it's the sun. And this little guy is chasing him, but then what I really like about it is it's giving facts about the different things that he's nibbling his way through. So you've got him going through the sun, and then through the moon, and it gives fun facts about it. And then he ends up with the dogs. He's catching a ride from the lion off of his tail. And then he goes into different images. He makes this dragon mad. So now this dragon is chasing him through the book of colors. And it talks about the different colors that you see here and what he is doing when he is mixing these colors together. And this dragon is getting angry. So here's Nibbles going into numbers. And this dragon is trying to catch Nibbles, but Nibbles hops in that rocket. The little boy hops on to get away, and Nibbles manages to escape. So super, super fun. The Nibbles one is just a really great one. That author, Emma, she is talented. She writes and illustrates both of her books. So she is just an extremely talented individual. I'm going to share a few of our activity books. These are our Never Get Bored cards, and they come with a marker, and they are reusable. They're wipe clean. If you are familiar with our wipe clean books, which I'll show here, they come with the pen too. So they've got these beautifully almost like laminated pages, or the cards are the same way, but you can see they're double-sided and all kinds of different activities. And it comes with the pen. You can use any dry erase marker with it. And you can see all the different cards that it comes with. This is the Never Get Bored cards, but there's things to do on a trip, things to do on an airplane. There's maze ones that come in this. And what I really like about these is I'll hole punch a little hole into the corner here, put some on one of those silver rings, 5 to 10 of them. You can break them up into bundles if you've got lots of kids, or just to make a smaller pack to take around, or if you're on a really long trip like a long airplane flight and you want to break it up into a couple different bundles so that you've got a couple different ones to grab from. And then that way, let's be real, they're not going to stay in this little box here. So super fun way to do that. Another activity book that I like, and this just happens to be our Christmas one, are our magic painting books. They come with the paintbrush here, and all you need is water. So the kids dip their paintbrush in water, and when they paint on the page, it reveals the color. This happens to be the Christmas one, but we've got all sorts of fun everyday ones. I like to keep these in my car, and when we go into a restaurant, I will ask for an extra cup of water, and then they can sit there and paint. Tear out a page, they sit there and paint, keeps them busy, keeps them occupied. Hopping over to some of our nonfiction books. If you are not familiar with Usborne books at all, people will say how amazing our nonfiction selection is. And we've got them for kids of all ages, starting at like counting and numbers and ABCs for the little guys, and it goes all the way up to encyclopedias and that kind of stuff for the older kids. But this here is Count to 100. You can see here it starts with 1, and then once it gets to 10, it starts going up by 10. So like you've got 20 here, 30, all the way up to 100. But what I love about this book, it's more than just counting. There's so many things for your child to identify on the different pages. And as it starts to get into those bigger numbers, they're all set up into groups. So you can see the birds here are sitting on 8 different branches. There's 5 birds sitting on each branch. Or if we go back to the 30 here, there are 6 different colors, and there's 5 animals in each color category. So that's a Count to 100. We've got Lift the Flap books. This one happens to be about bugs and butterflies. There is just something about a child being able to engage with flaps that just increases how much they're taking in and how much easier they remember. And kids just love to be able to sit there and flip the flaps on everything. These are my son's favorite right now. He likes to have these in the bathroom for when he is in there. And these are just great for anywhere in the car. They keep them sitting there. They keep them occupied. They just love being able to lift the flaps. Here's like a look inside one. This one happens to be about construction sites. But you can see just all of the different flaps on each page. Not all of our nonfiction are flap books, but I do just have to show the flap books because those are some of the favorites. Like I mentioned, though, we've got encyclopedias. We have our Shine a Light series. This is our most, this is a really popular series that you actually read with a flashlight. And when you put light, let me just see if I can get the natural light to do this, behind the page, it's going to reveal an image. So if you look closely, you can't see anything in that flower. When I open it up to put light behind it, you can barely see the frog coming through. Or here you can see like the little claw right here. And when you put light behind it, you can see the mommy bird who is bringing in food for her babies. So these Shine the Light ones, I love. They're a fun story one. The little guys love it, like from 2 all the way up to 6 or 7. But they're also nonfiction, so they've got a lot of really good information in them as well. I'm going to take a little step back to some of our baby books. This is That's Not My Book. This is our #1 selling series. And it's got the textures, the touchy-feely textures on each page. And a lot of repetitive text. So this is That's Not My Giraffe. So it always says, that's not my giraffe. And then it'll say, its tail is too tufty. And it's got a texture that goes along with it. So each page has that repetitive text, and then we'll give an adjective to describe the texture that they're feeling. And then you see this little mouse that's hiding right here. He's hiding on each page, so it also gives them something to look for on each page. And it's got those nice thick board pages. I love these for baby book shower gifts. You know, when they ask for a card or a book instead of a card, these are great for that. They're great for little hands. They're nice and sturdy. And then even that repetitive text helps a child for when they start to read on their own. Another really fun one for the little ones, I'm going to turn this one on the back. This is Twinkly Twinkly Bedtime. And you can see that it's a storybook, but there's also the little light that lights up on each page. So the stars are coming out as Daddy Bear and Little Bear go out for their little evening walk, and then Little Bear is asleep when he comes home. There's also a Christmas version of this called Twinkly Twinkly Christmas Tree. That's really, really fun. And then we've got this is like a storybook, interactive book. This happens to be a holiday one. This book is just all kinds of awesomeness. This is part of our busy book collection. This happens to be a Santa one, so holiday. But it also comes in a train, a helicopter, a car, and a ladybug. And the way that it works, you pull this little toy back to wind it up. And then I'll show you after he goes, but on each page, there are tracks that he follows along with. So super, super fun. He's flying through, and you'll see that if I turn the page, it's a new track for him to go on. And he follows along on that track, but then I'm also going to take it off to show you because there's a story that goes along with it on each page. So these are really fun. I like to have this Christmas one, obviously for the holidays. I just put it away each year with our decorations. But those other everyday ones make awesome gifts, awesome birthday gifts, and then another one just to keep your little busy child entertained and in one spot for just a little bit of time. And then one of our last, I could go on and on about some of my favorites. I'm going to share something for a little bit older. These are our illustrated classics, and we've got all kinds of chapter books too that you can browse on, or if you've got a kiddo who's reading chapter books and you need recommendations, please do not hesitate to comment here or reach out to me. I would love to share some that I think they would love based off of their interest and their reading level and all that kind of stuff. But I love these illustrated ones. They're beautiful. They're books that you're going to have on your shelf for a lifetime. This happens to be classic, so Huck Finn and Other Stories. It's got the little reading ribbon, and you can see here that it'll show the different stories that come in it. And then it goes through and puts illustrations and breaks down these stories, these classic stories that every child should be introduced to, but makes it more at their level. My 5-year-old, this is the one we're reading right now, going through the different stories, but these are great all the way up till middle school. There you've got Odyssey, you've got Shakespeare, fairy tales, fables from around the world, stories from China, Norse myths. That's a very, very popular one. So these ones I think they should go in every household on every person's shelf. And they're just ones, like I said, that you're going to have for a lifetime. Also another really popular one, Jane Austen. So those are really cool. A few more things before I let you get back to the party. I have shared some of my favorites. The next post is going to have more videos, but it's going to be a lot more of our newer titles. So feel free to browse through those. You won't make it through the entire video, all of the videos, which is okay because you can come back and look at all of those videos when you would like. I just want to get the party jumping and rolling, and I look forward to partying with you all. Comment away, interact, and then just one last little thing. If you have already seen so many books that you just love and you know that your wish list is going to be growing, I would love to do a party for you. A party is one of the easiest ways to get so many of these books onto the shelf of your home library. There is no risk in hosting, but it's oh so rewarding to be a party hostess. It's one of my favorite things to do for all of you, spoil you, get you as many of these books as possible, and just a super fun way to introduce these books to your family and friends and make an impact on literacy and just getting more books into the hands of kids. So I look forward to the rest of the evening with you all, and thanks for joining us.